Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. So this is August 2023. Remember I said that I would do a really big, long process video? This is it. Right now I'm showing you all of the pages for August. Normally I do that at the end of my process video, but I figured why not? Let's just show you now, so that way you can see the pages that you have to look forward to as we go on this journey of finishing August 2023. So far, I had only done the school section for August. I'm going to start off with this page for my opening with this mini golf photo. And I will tell you, I went pretty eclectic, at least that's what I'm calling it, with my page. I had a lot of fun with bright colors, mixing in the stories by the month and also the new Storyteller Fun Kit, plus the stamp set. I'm not sure if it's called the same thing, but I think I went eclectic because the photo had so many colors and it was also not the best photo, so maybe I was unconsciously trying to distract from the not great photo. But either way, it was a lot of fun to, like I said, bring in different pieces and put together this page. You can see I've already stamped a fun circle shape in 3 different colors. My purple was not the same shade that I was going to use, but it was either use it or don't use it. I stamped it once on a piece of paper and then stamped it the second time on my actual project, and then stamped fun times and stamped that a few different times with the stamp ink. What's that word? I always forget that word, but when you stamp it and then you stamp it a second time, it has like less ink. There's a specific word for it and I just cannot think of it at this moment. So I wanted to back my photo and I thought about using that really pretty paper that had all the different colors. Reminds me of like a watercolor type of painting, but I decided not to use that. I'm going to use it in a different way. Instead, I got a orange paper from the Storyteller Fun Kit and matted my photo on that. I'm going to actually use this paper with a 1-inch circle punch and just add pops of color all over the page because again, I'm going for very colorful, very fun, representing summer. And I will say that right after this page, I think I put, right after this page, I put the vacation that I took with Erica, which is coming up next. But after that is an end of summer page, and I could not find the voiceover, or not the voiceover, the process video for it. So I don't think you guys are going to see it, and I apologize, but it's just a collage pocket page for the end of summer. But I did it a while ago, and I don't know what I did with the video. So moving on, you can see I'm placing different pieces. I have a large purple die cut that says just this. That's from the monthly kit. The So Fun, that is from the Fun Kit. And then the watercolor type paper is in lots of different colors, and I'm sprinkling that all over the page. I also used a chipboard that said Love August Stories. I was kind of thinking maybe that doesn't go so well, but you know what? I was just throwing the whole kitchen sink on here and telling myself that it all works. I also die cut a title, August. I think I just typed that out and then used my Cameo to fussy cut it. And I die cut it twice so that way I could have it be a little more dimensional. And I'm taking my various circle shapes and cutting them in half and then layering them in different spots. The pattern papers in this kit are double-sided, so you flip it over and you have the X's and like a black and white type pattern, and it's very neutral, obviously. So when I wasn't using the colorful circles, I just flipped it over and used the black and white, the black X's, I guess you could say, and it really helped to balance out all the different colors that I have going on here. I'm going to go ahead and glue down my title now that I've kind of figured out where I want it. And I didn't add any journaling. I thought about adding journaling, but I felt like it was kind of self-explanatory, but maybe not. So maybe I could go back and add some journaling. But this is the second volume for my project Life, I believe. Oh my goodness, now I feel like I need to check. But it might be the third, because every time that I do 6x8, or the few times that I've attempted 6x8, it always winds up being 4 volumes. So I think this is volume 3, but I'd have to double check. Either way, I'm making progress, and that's what counts, right? I used my project sheets. It really motivated me to get everything printed. And I'm also going to work on learning actions in Photoshop, which will help me crop photos a lot faster. And so when I go to plan September, it'll be a lot quicker of a process to get everything prepped and ready. And then I can start on September, which is exciting. I love documenting September through December. It's just my favorite time of year. All right, August is done. We are going to move on to the vacation with Erica. I went with my best friend, Carlos, and his friend, because they were going to go visit other friends in Oregon. So I was like, I'm just going to tag along and I can meet Erica. And it all worked out. It was fantastic, an amazing trip. And I'm so thankful for our friendship. So I wanted to include this in the family album, since this was the first time that I had gone on a road trip without my family, and it was a big occasion to see my friend, and I felt like it deserved to be included in the family album. Same thing with my back to work project. So I'm gonna have a out of the pocket page on the left with a large photo of us, and then a pocket page on the right hand side, and in between all of that, a 2x2. And again, using the Storyteller Fun Kit, pulling all the greens and the blues. I feel like that's what I always naturally gravitate towards. That's like my favorite color scheme, but with a lot of our photos, there was blue and green. Plus, Erica's hair was blue, turquoise, teal. So it all worked out. I took this fun paper and I did 2x2, so that way I could put it in the pocket. Also, up at the top, I have 2 die cuts that are going to be layered for a see-through pocket. And I went back to my trimmer and cut 1-inch strips of the fun, because I'm going to layer that behind our photo, just so that way I can bring in some of that blue from the pocket page and both pocket pages. And I also switched out the 3x4 journaling card for one that was more blue and green. And I think it said something different in the middle. So I actually have a die cut on top of it that I will adhere later on. It says this one time. So I'm going to adhere that later on. I took the fun strips and kind of staggered how I layered them. I thought that that would be something different to try, and I really like it. Again, having the most fun, just using a brand new kit and not letting it sit around and, just getting right into it. Also used a die cut in the pack, because there's a bazillion die cuts in this Storyteller kit. So I used the camera and then a really large floral right there. It's just so pretty. I thought about using my Cameo to cut out some and not use those flowers, like save them. But I told myself, nope, I'm going to use them. I even used the massive green one to make a journaling card over on the pocket page, and I love how that turned out as well. I just added the big die cut and then a piece of the fun paper. Another thing that I really wanted to do was figure out a way to add like embellishments, like a tiny embellishment, because Ali Edwards doesn't have a lot of like enamel dots or basic embellishments, like basic chipboards, basic, you know what I'm talking about, like basic stars or chipboard or enamel dots. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to make my own. I took my hole punch, and the back of the fun paper has a black and white kind of cream floral design on it. So I hole punched a bunch of those from the paper, and then I'm just going to sprinkle those around the page, because the die cut that I used from the camera has that kind of same color scheme. So I wanted to pull that in other places. I used a half circle with some dots from the sheet that I put together. Remember when I did a little behind the scenes of organizing my stamps? Well, I have a shape 6x8 stamp set that I made, and that's where that came from. Now, I wish I would have just gotten like a small scattering instead of a half circle, but this is what I picked. And like I always say, you can't go back and like change your mind. I'm going to add it to only this page and then a 2x2 pocket page. I also wanted to put down that die cut before I forget, and also the confetti. I think I've talked about this before, but I always like to place things first and then adhere it down. I'd like to get better about just going for it and just, adhering it first and not think about it, but I did kind of do that with my title page, the one that turned out very colorful. The first little process I showed you, that was a really fun one. So on the back, I have another little selection of photos, and I'm going to make a, a filler card. And it's going to look very similar to the 3x4 filler card that I'm going to make, because with the 2x2, I am using a small blue die cut. And then on the 3x4, I'm going to use the green die cut. And I don't know what's up with my hole puncher, but it's not punching as smooth. I don't know, maybe you have to oil a puncher, grease a puncher, I don't know. But it's not punching as smooth as it used to. I also stamped on that 2x2. This is where the fun stuff happens. That is from the new 6x8 stamp set. That is part of one of the new subscriptions that Ali Edwards has. And then down at the bottom, I stamped 2x2. My kind of fun. I think I wound up doing that off camera, or maybe not, but I stamped my kind of fun and then 2 of the half circle boxes. And I'm just going to do a bullet point list and a little bit of the different activities that we did for this trip. And then over on the 3x4 journaling card, I'll just kind of do an overview. I just wanted to make sure that I talked about how, with the help of Carlos, my best friend, I was able to get up to Oregon and see Erica, and we were able to go to a mom comedy show and meet. And even though I was a little nervous, once I officially met Erica, all my nerves went away and we just chatted, and it was like we'd been friends forever. And we've since gone on a second trip, and we're currently planning our third one. So it's very, very nice to have a wonderful friend like Erica. It's so awesome. So I journaled all of that there, and then on the 2x2, like I said, I did a list. So I just did a list. I did shopping and browsing, painting pottery, good eats, hiking in 2 different places, donuts, painting ghosts, and all kinds of fun. So that will wrap up this page, and then I can put it back into the album. And right after this page is the end of summer page that I somehow lost the process video, but that one just kind of is a weekly spread to wrap up the summer. Then after that is my daughter's birthday. And I made this page relatively simple, but then totally made it complicated for myself because I kept fighting with my glue stick, and I wound up getting glue in all different places. And yeah, you'll see that in a little bit. Right now, I was kind of contemplating, do I want a piece of paper down at the bottom? I love having pattern paper down at the bottom when I'm doing 2-page projects, because then I can kind of give that continuity and connect both of the pages. So I went ahead and did that. Also, because I guess my photo, when it printed, it did not print the full 8 by 2.5. Or no, 7 inches, whatever the height is. I can't think what the height is, but whatever the height is, it did not print fully. So having that piece of paper too will kind of cover that up. And the paper is from the birthday story kit and works perfectly and goes really well. And then overall, my design is really simple. It's just a large photo of my daughter and a few photos from the day. I have mentioned this in other videos, maybe behind the scenes videos, but I am finishing the birthday story kit, and I will have my daughter's birthday with these same photos, but a different design, and I'll go into more detail. I wanted to have some sort of large title piece, and so I had a orange banner. You can see it kind of peeking out of the screen up at the top left, but that was too big and it wasn't going to work. I did have these banners, but again, I wanted something like right next to where my daughter is. So I got out my stash of numbers and found 2 that would make 10, and a 1 and a 0 that'll make 10. And I can just staple those and that'll be good enough. I also am going to add some puffy stickers, and I'll add those in 2 different spots. I feel like I should have added some maybe up towards my daughter's head to add like the visual triangle, but I didn't do that. I probably just got so tired of fighting with this banner, because as you can see, when I planned it digitally, somehow it worked out to use all of these pieces that I had die cut, but now they're not fitting, so maybe I die cut an extra piece. I have no idea, but I had to lift up the small section after I adhered it down, and so it kind of tore the paper. Some of the glue got on the banner, and so I tried to erase it, but then it was like destroying the paper, and in the end I was able to get it down. I put down the next piece, which is kind of like a tan, and I cut off that little tiny strip that's supposed to be the string. I cut that off, and I did not put it on the right-hand side because there was no way I was going to glue an itty-bitty little string. So instead, I went right to the next piece, which was the blue with the string to finish the first banner. Then I thought, hey, why don't I glue this second banner down right on top of the journaling card? What was I thinking? And now I have some adhesive on the journaling card, and when I tried to erase it with a sand eraser, it tore some of the journaling card. I don't know what was going on. Maybe my kids were distracting me, probably that. But in the end, you can't really tell those little mistakes, and my journaling, once I wrote on that journaling card, you couldn't tell. So that's all good, right? We make these little mistakes, we laugh at them, and then find a way to maybe cover them up or just let it go. Now with the Vellum 10, I wanted to do 2 staples, like one at the top of the numbers and one at the bottom, but there was no way it was going to work. So I just did 1 staple in the middle, and it works. It works. We're going to move on. The photos that I chose were one with my daughter holding her Snorlax Pokemon, and her and I heading off to school, my daughter's excitement over a present, and then I actually got a great photo of the kids together. So had to include those as my favorites. You can see I went to my stash and I found a rainbow puffy sticker that will work for a little cluster. And this is where I was saying I could have added another cluster maybe up by my daughter's head. Okay, so on birthday, the journaling card, I put story number 1. My daughter's day started off with Grandma surprising her bright and early in the morning with donuts, and Dad had left the Snorlax Pokemon to surprise her with. So she had 2 surprises first thing in the morning. And then the second story is talking about how my daughter had a great day at school and her friends wished her a happy birthday. And later on, we all met for pizza with Oma and Opa and Grandma, and she got to have her favorite food and just be showered with love. And then on the third story, I just talked about how I cannot believe my last baby is 10 years old and that the years have flown so fast. It's just incredible how fast years go by. I also said my daughter is very intelligent, sassy, loves being outside, so inquisitive, asks the best questions, and I finished it by saying, love my sunshine girl. So that is my daughter's birthday, and then I'm going to move on to the next page, which is like one more everyday spread. So there you go, her birthday, simple, easy, done, and I love it. I used up some more of my birthday story kit supplies. Okay, so this is the page right here, and I'm pretty much just going to assemble it, and that's it. I have a collage of different images, and I think it's absolutely hilarious that one of the images is a praying mantis, and another one is a lizard. Around here, we love finding praying mantis because we think that they are good luck, and we found one right on our door when we were trying to come inside, so that's why I had to include that. And then I had a photo of my daughter catching a lizard. I also have 2 photos of me at work, so that's really fun to have those as well. I'm also going to use 2 chipboards that I think are from an August Stories by the Month kit from a long time ago, so I'm finally going to use those up. I grabbed my ruler to make sure that I align this collage as best as I can. I'm not always the best, but I don't want to like waste more paper by printing the collage like with low opacity and then gluing the photos printed a second time on top of it, if that makes sense. I don't want to do that. So I put down this pink chipboard that says this year is going by so fast. I also have 3 stacked stickers. One is the number 8 and then noted and snapshot. Over on the right hand side, I just grabbed a black piece of paper I had in my stash and used that. And the chipboard on top says bring on the story of that one time and then stuff we do in August. The journaling card I picked was gratitude, so I could kind of hit every single kind of topic that is in these collage photos. I also, for the first one, I said we're setting up the school routine and my work routine and moving into this season with not too many bumps. And then I drew a little heart face or heart circle. I also said we're noticing praying mantis, blooms at the library and sunset, and we're loving lizard catching and awesome Pokemon cards, enjoying dessert like chocolate kettle corn, and watching my dad, the bounty hunter. I think that show's still on Netflix, but it is like a kid show, but it's for the whole family. We absolutely loved it, and I hope another season comes out. We also loved Nimona. Oh, we love it. It's our favorite movie of ours. And then I talked about what our current favorite meal is because I found a photo while I was looking through August. I found a photo of our menu board, so I included that, and then talked about the various activities that my kids were in at the time and their grades. And that's it. Wrapped it up. I think it's fairly simple with the interesting mix of photos, but that's kind of what I love about Project Life is just all the interesting photos that can come together to make one weekly spread and one kind of showcase of daily life. Another very simple page is this hike that we took. Just the 3 of us. I think my son or our son stayed home. And I got several great photos. I wanted to use this quote card that said, everything good, everything magical happens between the months of June and August, and play off the red in my husband's shirt. I am going to make a 3x4 journaling card, and I was kind of playing around with the various die cuts. I had a really big one that was red that says August looks like this, but in the end, it really just didn't work. So I'm just going to use the one that says love, 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 and a bunch of puffy hearts, because I found a heart in nature, which is one of my favorite things to do, and you can see my feet. It's that feet photo. So I just went with all the hearts. And I also wanted to add something to 2 of the photos, and I didn't want it to be a big die cut, so I went with the sticker sheet, and I found some small stamped phrases that I can use. So on the photo of my daughter kind of walking ahead, I put finding, and then loving 3 times. And on the photo of my daughter on the right-hand side, I put the month 8 and then big joy twice. So that was fun to include, little stamped phrases and kind of figure out a way that I can use those sticker labels, because those were kind of throwing me, especially with the little tiny box on the right hand side. I'd love to know how you guys use those because they were stumping me. But I finally figured, you know what? I'm going to put an 8 in one of the tiny boxes for the month and then a little tiny phrase on the other side. So, love to know what you guys use them for. I think they are date stickers, but maybe not. I don't know. Either way, that's what I used them for. I took another journaling card with like the wave pattern and put our selfie over it and added one more puffy heart. I think I did a puffy heart in a different like 4 different colors to kind of mimic the 4x6 journaling card that I had. So I talked about in this journaling card, obviously, our hike and talking about how we went to one of our favorite areas and there was rocks. There's like rocks, piles and piles of rocks all over the area that I live. And so we always talk about on our hikes, why are they there? Is it because there's a dam in our area and they needed to move rocks? I don't know. Because like I said, it's in multiple locations. I kind of got off topic on my journaling card, but then I pulled it back and just talked about how my daughter climbed to the top and I found a heart in nature and we went 2 miles. So had fun journaling with that and just adding in that little tidbit about the rocky hills that we have, or hills full of rocks. That's what I'm looking for. So there's that page. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to wrap up August with a very simple end page. I thought about fussy cutting out this quote and then putting it on top of the black journaling card. But in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it simple. I took the die cut that says "So Beautiful," put it up in the top left, and then I have the 4x6 journaling card, and that will be it for the end page. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing all of these pages come together. I would love a thumbs up, or if you're new to my channel, a subscribe. All right, have a great day. Bye.